Just do this and watch men become addicted to you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start with a fundamental truth. If you want someone to be drawn to you, obsessed with you, you don't do it by chasing, pleading, or playing games. You do it by becoming someone who demands admiration, not with words, but with being. The key: strength and grace and balance. Men, human beings in general, aren't addicted to people who need them. They are drawn, almost gravitationally, to those who stand tall, who bring value to the world, who have something rare to offer, a combination of kindness, intelligence, discipline, and unpredictability. If you want someone to be drawn to you, truly captivated by your presence, it cannot be through deception or manipulation. You cannot rely on fleeting tricks or tactics that may capture attention for a moment but ultimately fade into insignificance. Instead, the foundation of attraction, of real and lasting admiration, is built upon personal responsibility. It is not enough to desire affection or devotion. You must earn it. You must become the kind of person who naturally commands respect and admiration, not because you demand it, but because your presence makes it undeniable. This means taking full ownership of your life, your actions, and your choices. Too often, people fall into the trap of believing that love and attention are things they are entitled to, rather than things that must be cultivated through effort and self-improvement. But entitlement repels, while responsibility attracts. If you want to be truly magnetic, if you want someone to not just notice you, but to feel a deep, unshakable connection to you, then you must first be someone worth connecting with. That requires discipline, it requires focus, it requires the courage to look at yourself honestly and ask, am I bringing something of value to this relationship, to this person, to the world? When you take responsibility for your own growth, when you push yourself to be better, not for the sake of anyone else, but because it is what you owe yourself, something remarkable happens. You begin to exude a confidence that is not arrogant, but earned. You develop a presence that is not needy, but assured. And that is rare. That is powerful. People often chase love as though it is something to be grasped, something external that can be captured or controlled. But love, admiration, and deep attraction are byproducts of who you are and how you conduct yourself. You must think of yourself as someone who is constantly in the process of refinement, of becoming. Because the moment you stop evolving, the moment you surrender responsibility for your own progress, is the moment you become stagnant. And stagnation is the enemy of attraction. So before you concern yourself with what another person is feeling about you, ask yourself, are you truly the kind of person who deserves admiration? Not in a shallow way, not in terms of appearance or charm, but in the way that truly matters. Your character, your intellect, your ability to stand firmly on your own 2 feet. Once you embrace responsibility for your own development, once you commit to becoming a force in your own right, you will find that admiration follows naturally. You will no longer need to chase, to prove yourself, or to demand affection. Instead, you will inspire it. Charm can capture attention for a moment, but it is competence that holds it. If you want someone to be drawn to you in a way that is deep, enduring, and unwavering, then you must focus not on superficial appeal, but on mastery. Mastery of yourself, mastery of your emotions, mastery of your skills, and mastery of your environment. People may initially be attracted to appearances, to wit, or to a well-crafted persona. But what keeps them engaged, what makes them need your presence, is the knowledge that you bring value to their lives in a way that few others do. Competence is the foundation of respect. And without respect, there can be no true admiration, no real connection. If you are competent, if you know what you are doing in life, if you have a vision, if you have honed your abilities, People naturally feel secure in your presence. They feel drawn to you, not out of obligation or momentary desire, but because you make the world around you more stable, more interesting, and more meaningful. When you meet someone who is truly competent, you recognize it instantly. There is a quiet assurance in their demeanor, a confidence that is not boastful but undeniable. They do not need to prove themselves with empty words because their actions speak for them. They are grounded, capable, and self-sufficient. These are the people others seek out in times of uncertainty because they provide clarity where others bring chaos, solutions where others bring complaints. And this is precisely the kind of presence you must cultivate if you want to be someone others cannot bear to be without. Competence does not mean perfection. It does not mean that you must have all the answers or that you must never falter. What it does mean is that you are someone who can be relied upon, someone who takes the time to develop real skills, real wisdom, and a real sense of purpose. It means you are someone who approaches life with discipline, with a desire to improve, with an unwillingness to settle for mediocrity. The world is full of distractions, of people who move aimlessly from one thing to the next, seeking validation without ever building anything of real value. Those who stand out, those who are truly unforgettable, are the ones who resist this pull toward complacency and instead dedicate themselves to mastery in whatever form that takes, whether it is in their work, their relationships, their ability to communicate, or their ability to navigate the complexities of life with intelligence and strength. When you prioritize competence over charm, you do not need to seek attention. Attention comes to you naturally because you offer something rare. You become someone whose presence is not just enjoyable, but necessary. People do not just like being around you. They need to be around you because you bring something that cannot easily be found elsewhere, an unwavering sense of direction, a depth of understanding, a force of will that makes the world feel a little more ordered, a little more purposeful, a little more alive. There is an undeniable power in the feminine, a force that is often misunderstood, underestimated, or even dismissed in a world that equates strength with aggression and dominance. True feminine power is not about weakness, nor is it about submission. It is about understanding the immense depth of influence that comes from embodying both grace and strength, both warmth and resilience. To be truly magnetic, to be the kind of person who holds the attention and devotion of others, is not about trying to imitate masculine traits, nor is it about diminishing yourself to appear more agreeable. It is about fully embracing the unique power that comes with being a woman who understands her nature and wields it with intelligence, with purpose, and with unwavering self-respect. Men are not drawn to weakness, nor are they drawn to women who suppress their essence in an attempt to conform to external expectations. What captivates them, what keeps them coming back, what makes them unable to look away, is a woman who is deeply in tune with herself, who does not apologize for her presence, who moves through the world with an effortless combination of mystery and clarity, of nurturing and challenge. A woman who can be both gentle and unshakable, who can offer comfort while demanding excellence, who knows when to stand firm and when to yield, possesses a kind of allure that cannot be fabricated or faked. It is not about playing a role or adhering to a set of predetermined behaviors. It is about owning who you are so completely that others cannot help but take notice. A woman who understands her own power does not seek validation in desperate or manipulative ways. She does not chase, she does not beg, she does not compromise her values to keep someone's attention. Instead, she stands in her own worth, knowing that her presence is a privilege, not something to be taken for granted. She is selective, not because she is arrogant, but because she understands that her time, her energy, and her emotional investment are valuable. And this, paradoxically, is what makes her so irresistible. She does not need to convince others of her worth because her actions, her demeanor, and the way she carries herself make it abundantly clear. There is an art to being both a source of stability and a force of excitement, to creating a dynamic where a man feels both at ease and challenged, where he sees you as someone who brings both peace and inspiration into his life. It is not about playing mind games or withholding affection to create artificial scarcity. It is about genuinely being a woman who is worth pursuing, worth cherishing, worth staying loyal to. When you understand the power of your own presence, when you move through the world with confidence and purpose, when you refuse to shrink yourself or to conform to someone else's idea of who you should be, you become unforgettable. You become the kind of person who is not just wanted, but needed, in a way that transcends momentary attraction and becomes something far deeper, something that lingers long after you have left the room. The essence of feminine power is not found in forcefulness or control, but in the quiet, undeniable strength of presence. The ability to shape the world around you not through dominance, but through influence. Not through demand, but through an effortless command of attention. There is something deeply compelling about a woman who understands this, who recognizes that her value is not in what she can take from others, but in what she inherently is. Too often the modern world confuses femininity with passivity, with a kind of submission that leaves women feeling as though they must either conform to expectations that do not serve them or reject their own nature entirely in an attempt to mimic the traits they believe will give them power. But true power does not come from abandoning what makes you unique. It comes from fully embodying it, from understanding that femininity is not weakness, but rather one of the most potent forces in existence. A woman who embraces her power does not seek validation, does not chase, does not need to prove herself. She moves with a confidence that is not loud but undeniable, a certainty in her own worth that makes it clear that being in her presence is a privilege, not a right. She understands that men are not drawn to chaos, nor are they addicted to instability. What holds them, what keeps them engaged on a level beyond surface attraction, is the balance between nurture and challenge, between warmth and depth, between softness and resilience. The mistake many people make is in believing that to be alluring, one must be endlessly agreeable, constantly giving, always accommodating. But this is not true attraction, this is self-sacrifice, and in the end, it breeds resentment rather than devotion. The women who captivate, the women who linger in the minds of men long after they have left, are the ones who do not simply conform, but who inspire, who bring something so rare, so deeply valuable, that to be without them feels like a loss.